What's good, babe? It's been a minute since I made a video. There's been a lot of stuff going on, and I find myself in a procrastination loop a lot of the time where I just have a hard time getting on the camera and just talking. But I just woke up, so I want to start on a good foot. I want to try to do something. But a big thing with me is the current state of things, right? How much things cost, the ability to get a job, ability to get money, all that type of stuff, right? And me personally, I don't feel threatened. And I want to talk about like the current state of making money and buying power. You get what I'm saying? What you able to buy with your money. Um, I feel like a lot of people, granted the granted the strange state things are in, I feel like it's almost bringing upon like a victimhood type of mentality. You get what I'm saying? Um, ever since I was like, I want to say 14, I was getting money, right? Just off the computer, you know. I used to play this game called CSGO. Most of y'all heard of it. And, I used to find ways to make money off of skins, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the time I would gamble. A lot of the time I would do surveys. Surveys was the main way I would get money, and then that stuff was worth real money. So I used to just always find ways to get money, and then even when I stopped doing that, I would do surveys to pay for things I wanted off the computer. So like I got a lot of experience just finding ways to get what I need. And I prefaced with that because I feel like granted how things are getting worse, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's important for us to vote, but at the end of the day, I've always been a what you gonna do about it type of person. You're not gonna quit your job. You're not gonna get out in the streets and protest or nothing like that. You get what I'm saying? Well, I mean, sure, you're gonna get out the streets and protest, but you're not gonna demonstrate. You get what I'm saying? Um, it's a lot of complaining, a lot of victimhood, in my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion. Um, because I always find a way to get it. And I feel like black people have always found a way too, but I feel like with social media mainly, it's become a real victim mentality that's been going through people. You know, what are you gonna do about it? Because you don't vote in your best interest, okay. You stick with jobs that don't serve you, okay. You don't do nothing else to create income meaningfully, okay. And like I said, I'm probably gonna get a lot of pushback about this. A lot of people gonna be like, well, I don't have time to do this, that, and the fourth because I have to worry about this and that. And then my thing is, so what? You know what I'm saying? I got kids. I got responsibilities too. But at the end of the day, I always look at it like, okay, what am I gonna do about this situation? Because it's not gonna fix itself. And I'll never have problems finding jobs, good jobs. And I'm also the type of person, like I said, this is a big opinion piece. I'm also the type of person to be like, okay, so what you gonna do with the excess income that your job generates to help yourself? Because everybody got post a video making fun of themselves for claiming they're gonna save money and then ordering DoorDash or claiming they're gonna save money and then buying some stupid. You get what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people's problem with the way things are is like, oh, I can't do both. You get what I'm saying? And that's messed up that you can't do both with a lot of jobs these days. My thing is, I feel like, regardless of how bad things get, I feel like just as an adult, and if we want to narrow it down, even as a man, you should, you should hold your own and be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I feel like I get it. You used to be able to work your regular 9 to 5 job and do that. But I'm saying for one, it's still 9 to 5 jobs out here that you can support yourself off of. It's just you simply putting in the application ain't enough no more. You have to it's we revert back to old school way where you have to, yeah, put in the application, but you have to make an impression too. I don't see nothing wrong with that. And I feel like it's only benefited like me, for example, because I had no problem doing that. It helped me expand my social skills because I feel like a network will keep you good for the rest of your life. You need a network of people. You need to know people. Because if you know people, you bypass a lot of the stuff that's in place. You know what I'm saying? Somebody will help you through their business or their homie business or something like that or anything. And like I said, a lot of people want to look at this like it's closed minded and all that, but I've experienced this myself. You find ways by meeting people and just simply figuring it out. I don't understand why we gotta. I don't see the point in being victims if you're not going to go on a serious strike. I don't see no point in being a victim if you're not gonna go on a serious strike. A serious strike is more than 30 days. A serious strike require serious sacrifices. You get what I'm saying? Require serious support system that nobody is willing to put together because, in my personal opinion, again, everybody lazy. Everybody lazy. That's just my personal opinion. Everybody wants something for themselves, but don't nobody want to put in the work to do what needs to be done. Everybody want to do for themselves, but nobody want to do the work that needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to work that job that don't support you correctly, living off of credit cards and all that. You don't have, it's a lot of stuff that you don't have to do that you choose to do because because it should be easier. It should be like how it used to be, but fact of the matter is that it's not. So I always look at it in terms of, okay, so what am I going to do about it? Me, I'm a man, I'm young, so I opted to stick with my good job and now just work overtime. You know what I'm saying? That's more than enough. Is there still room for improvement? Yeah. Do I still do things that I don't necessarily have to do that kind of stunt my progress in different ways? I believe so. That's just me. But my whole thing is, if you're gonna complain, you need to vote, you need to demonstrate, and you need to do something about it in the meantime. Otherwise, you just really giving yourself an out. You gotta do something about the situation that you in. You can't just complain about it. It sounds like common sense, but social media has conditioned you to feel like it's not. Social media has conditioned you to feel like, yeah, the way you feel is valid, But ain't nobody gonna come save you because the people that's in charge of what you complain about don't want it to go nowhere near how it used to be. They want it to continue going the direction I'm going to go. So what are you going to do about it? Nothing's going to change in your favor. It never was supposed to be in your favor. It's supposed to be in someone else's favor. So that's why I say what you gonna do about your situation in the meantime before, things do change. Everything eventually shifts, right? Everything changes at some point, but after the end of the day, you only got yourself to fall back on. So what you gonna do? That's my personal opinion. But I might upload this raw just to get back into the swing of things. But I want y'all to let me know what you think in the comments. Like, I don't feel like I was insensitive. I don't feel like I was inconsiderate because I feel like anything that y'all might rebuttal with, I already know and I already addressed in this video. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? And I was very vague because doing something about it looks different to everybody. But the internet makes it feel like it's not anything that you can do. You have to figure it out. The reason why I'm vague is because it's a different issue for every individual person, but the internet makes everything black and white. It makes you feel trapped. It makes you feel like you don't know what's going on. It just makes you feel like you don't know which direction to go into. The end of the day, you have to do something.